good screen, a good camera and a great battery? Well, then you've come to the right place. Hello everyone, I'm Ibrahim Sheikh from Honest Phone Reviews, and this is my video review of the Moto X Play. The Moto X Play is Motorola's mid-range phone. Coming in at £249, it sits above the Moto E and the Moto G, but below the X style. At first impressions, you won't be too disappointed with the build quality. Sure, it's an all-plastic build, but the thin side rails, top and bottom, make it really easy to hold. The phone is on the thicker side at 10.9mm, and it's also quite heavy at 169 grams. But that is to make way for the massive battery. I'll get onto that in a bit. Texture on the back of the phone also feels really nice in the hand, and not as cheap as you may think. The phone even comes with Moto Maker, so you can customize it pretty much any way you want. However, there are no options to change the texture of the back cover, so options can be fairly limited. Moving over to the front of the device, you'll be able to see its good 5.5-inch 1080p IPS LCD display and what looks to be stereo speakers. However, only the bottom speaker fires sound in media playback, and the top one is reserved just for calls. Turning the screen on, you can see it's a great screen. Text looks sharp, whites look white, and colours look fairly accurate. I do, however, miss the deep blacks of the AMOLED panel of last year, but the thing I miss most about the blacks is probably the way it made Moto Display much better. I'll get onto that later. Moving over to the software side of things, this phone is running Android Lollipop 5.1.1, however it's due a Marshmallow upgrade soon. It also has Motorola's usual enhancements, which include Moto Assist, that silences the phone in meetings or at night. Moto Assist also detects when you're driving and will read out your notifications then. You have Moto Voice that lets you talk to your phone to take pictures, play music, etc, etc. You also have Motorola's Gestures, double twist to launch camera. However, strangely, the double chop to activate flash is missing. It also has Moto Display. This makes up for the lack of notification LED or the fact that the notification LED is hidden. When you pick up your phone, it displays a set of notifications as interactive icons. Sometimes it can be too sensitive, but indoors, in a well-lit room, it works great. Outside, however, when the sun is shining, you really start to miss the contrast and readability advantages of an AMOLED panel. Now let's take a look at some specs. Inside this phone is a Snapdragon 615 coupled with 2GB of RAM and 16 or 32GB of expandable storage. This runs Android along pretty smoothly. Sure, apps sometimes took longer to open and animations occasionally stuttered, as did scrolling, but aside from that, the phone ran fine. Never did I find it to overheat, even in heavy gaming, and everything else was just a breeze. This phone also has a massive 3,900 mAh battery. It's great. The phone battery can easily get me through 2 days on light use and a day and a half on heavy use. Normally I was getting 6.5 hours on screen time, and occasionally I got 8.5. It's just so refreshing to see a phone with this good of a battery these days. As expected with 2GB of RAM, multitasking isn't the best. I could only hold around 2 to 4 apps in the background, which isn't that good. I could, however, switch between them fairly smooth, so it wasn't the worst experience in multitasking. The battery might be the best feature on this phone, but that depends on your needs. The camera is also great. The camera is a 21 megapixel sensor with f2.0 aperture with phase detection autofocus and a dual-tone LED flash. This is the same sensor that is in the higher-end Moto X Pure/Style, and for the money, it's amazing. Sure, occasionally it misses focus and overexposes the sky, but if you've got a bit of time with the shot, you can get a really good picture. Night photos are also quite bad, but aside from those issues, it's great. Just look and see for yourself. Video is limited to 1080p, and slow-mo is quite pixely at 520p. But aside from that, for the money, this phone is a must for a photographer on a budget. With all these features, this phone comes in at a cheap £249. For that money, you get a great screen, camera, and a massive battery. And with my needs for a phone, that's a pretty good deal. Thanks for watching my first review ever on YouTube. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and leave a like, and tell me in the comments how to improve. Thanks a lot, bye!